the strategy structure for VeChain's on the top line is VeBetterDAO, is all of the external applications facing the users, whatever crypto, non-crypto users, right? Building up the use case, getting users engagement for mass adoptions.
This episode is brought to you by BitGo, which is a top-tier crypto custodian that has been in the industry since 2013. It's headed up by Mike Belshew, who's a Web 1.0 and 2.0 legend. BitGo provides incredible services in addition to custody. They allow you to manage your tokens, get all types of liquidity, and much more. And some of the companies that use BitGo include Bitstamp Exchange, Sui, the token project, Pantera Capital, that's Dan Moorhead, as well as 21 Shares, which issues Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Some of the great services that BitGo provides includes wallet services, which is secure, trusted, scalable wallet solutions, Prime services, which allows you to get seamless access to liquidity and capital. It also allows you to list, manage, and grow your ecosystem. And they have what's called the Go Network, which is a secure real-time global settlement. Recently, BitGo launched a retail platform that allows you to trade, stake, and of course, custody your crypto assets. And this is a great solution because it provides you with top-tier crypto security, and security is, of course, a big factor in investing in crypto. And BitGo is offering an incredible incentive as they launch this platform where you can get a chance to win Bitcoin. They're giving away at least one Bitcoin every quarter. So if you sign up and have funds on the platform through the last day of each quarter, starting December 31st, 2024, you can be eligible to win some free Bitcoin here. So if you'd like to learn more about BitGo, go to bitgo.com. Link will be in the description. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward, and my guest today is Sunny Liu, who's the co-founder and CEO of VeChain. Sunny, Happy New Year. Great to have you on.
Happy New Year, Tony. It has been quite a long time. I'm very happy to be back. And actually, I'm super happy because that's the first interview of 2025. I'm able to do it with old friend like you. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm excited to chat with you. There's been a lot of great updates around VeChain. I'm a VET token holder. I have been for a long time. So I follow VeChain a lot, and it's great to have you on to get the details around all the great initiatives you guys have going on. So there's been a lot of recent updates. And in 2024, there was the launch of the VeBetter app ecosystem. Tell us about that.
Yeah, VeBetterDAO actually is, firstly, it's a DAO ecosystem. And we have the token fair launch and 100% distributed to the ecosystem building to everyone. And by essence, it's actually a super hub. We call it application super hub to foster different type of, we call it X to earn type of application to enable, or let's say to motivate, encourage normal people to do positive behavior in your daily life. So basically, you can, drink coffee without let's say disposable cups, or you use EV other than the fossil cars, or you just exercise, build your own body, as a human capital, build your own health. So anything to, let's say, encourage people to do positive behavior, you could find the application in the VeBetterDAO. And, that's just the ecosystem we wanted to, let's say, build the future sustainability with, let's say, a different type of the builders, whatever coming from Web3 and Web2, or building the different type of applications. And then, getting everyone to do something nice, to do something better in the daily life. Just simple.
I love it. Both from a societal standpoint, getting people to do good things and things that are great for our civilization, our environment, and so forth. And then getting rewarded for it is pretty awesome. So with doing some of these things like charging your electric car or drinking certain types of coffee or whatever it may be, how does the logistics of that work? Is it participating merchants or certain types of products that are being used that people have to scan? Or how does the logistics of it work?
No, actually, it could be very simple. Because let's say, I really appreciate the development from artificial intelligence starting from early 2024. And lots of the application actually take the benefits using the different type of the AI tools to be able to digitalize human action and capture on the blockchain. And based on this type of the action, you get a rewards right away. I give an example. If you drink a coffee in a coffee shop, and instead of using the disposable cup, you take the recycled mug. And what you need to do is just take a photo of your mug, or even you do a selfie with yourself. And also you take a photo about the receipts in the coffee shop, and you can get the rewards right away. So basically the AI could recognize any different type of the language, any different, well, there were lots of the other data factors, let's say your phone ID, your IP address, your location, your GPRS, basically then could, let's say, based on all of the data collected, it could recognize, oh, this is really a mugshot inside of the coffee without any disposable cup or paper cup, plastic. So cut the waste of that. So that's one type of application. The other, actually, we leverage with different types of the products. I give an example. You mentioned about the charging the electricity vehicle, right? It's a perfect example. One of the applications is called EV So basically, we finished the integration with Tesla's API.
Oh, wow.
So, well, Tesla is the first one. Okay, so that's the first model, first brand manufacturer we were supporting. But basically, Tesla, if you use Tesla, you usually have a Tesla account. You can log in the application, you can drive your car, use your phone as a car keys, everything, right? And basically, you can use Tesla account to log in the EVN directly. So you don't need to do anything else, but just connect with your car, automatically load to the application.
Wow.
And every time when you finish the charging, basically also the data from the Tesla system will go through the API, upload to the smart contract right away. And then what you need to do is just click the claim button from the charging session about the tokens you earn from the charging session. So it's very smooth, very user friendly, and actually not necessarily you need to be a crypto user. If you're just normal user, normal Tesla driver, and then you can use the application to earn the rewards.
Wow. I love that. And as you're saying that, I'm thinking about the future of earning and how people are going to earn in the economy when you have metaverse and then you have a lot of automation from robots and AI, of course. They're going to take a lot of jobs away. How are people going to earn an income? And for simply doing things that they would do every day and earning rewards, that's really great.
Well, actually, every small effort or every small difference you try to make on your daily life actually matters.
Mm.
I remember one of my favorite doctors, actually is one of the British doctors called Jane Goodendale. She mentioned about she's 90 years old. Like I really respect the lady.
Mm.
She mentioned about every small things you do to yourself, to people you love or people love you, to the others, or to the environment, to the animals, to the entire society. Every small things you do actually make the true difference. In terms of sustainability, that's actually the real concept or real meaning from human effort. So I actually think about how we can motivate or how we can unite every individual person, normal person, to do a small things, fractional efforts on a daily basis. And clearly, Web3 is a perfect answer. So that's actually how things getting started.
Yeah, and it's maybe the perfect timing to where you have the convergence of all these different technologies of AI, blockchain, robotics and you're heading into space. So you can't have, no one's going to use cash in space. You're going to have a digital currency and all these different things. But the point is, all these things will help to fix a lot of the potential problems that may be around the corner. Now, you mentioned the or the reward token that's earned is the B3TR.
Yes.
So this token is this built on the VeChain blockchain?
Yes, for sure. It's a native token, one of the native token on the VeChain blockchain. And like I mentioned, it's let's say it's within the DAO, and also the minting schedule, and the token allocation is basically purely based on the voting results coming from the entire community. So I'm not having, like, including myself or the VeChain Foundation as an entity, we don't have any kind of pre-minted or pre-allocation. No.
Mm.
Um, every token allocation will based on either the voting results or based on what you really do. You drink coffee, you drive EV, you do exercise, you take public transportation. Every positive behavior, you deserve a certain amount of the token in a fractional way. But putting them together as a collective result, it's actually pretty huge.
Yeah, and I love the model you guys set up with having it being a DAO and that you're not involved with the minting, there's no pre-mine and so forth. So that's really great. So let's say I charge my electric vehicle, I earn the tokens. What can I then do with those tokens? Can I go shop with them or cash them out? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's a very good question because that's we are building right now. It's in the progress. We just launched it in March. No, sorry, not March. June 2000, end of the June 2024. So we spent the first a period of time, just try to make the infrastructure, build the different applications, and helping the builders build the different applications, providing the different tools. And in 2025, that's going to sit in the top priority. So there are two type of, let's say, utility of the Better token for people, right? One is directly you can pay for the different goods, different merchandise.
Mm.
For example, like the T-shirt I wear, or some of the money you cannot buy experiences. We're gonna design some of the gamification or some of the let's say designs of the engagement with the community, and then you are able to win some prize, some bonuses, not only from the money perspective or financial perspective, but more for like, okay, that's a reward you are contributing to make the world a better place, right? So one side is about the utility of the token. We're going to launch a marketplace to allow people to engage and to play different campaigns, different games, and you're able to get the different type of the rewards. So that's one. Second, we wanted to launch some of the PayFi solution as well to getting the Better token directly into pay for anything. So basically, we will partner with some of the credit card companies or payment solutions, and actually, it's not really, let's say, a unique or special solution because there are lots of the payment cards with the crypto right now, right?
Sure.
But we're gonna do something different because on top of just a crypto payment, there are also a meaning you are providing the liquidity to the Better token. You are also part of the special force to support the sustainability ecosystem.
Mm.
So it's just a different type of the job. Other than comparing with like the positive behavior or daily actions, this is also part of the job as well, right?
Right.
And then looking for the future, there will be more collaboration opportunities. So think about that. You charge your EV, and instead of just paying the charging supercharge station or even get it for free, you still earn some points. You earn some of the tokens, right? And just one let's say a few buttons away, you can top your token into some of the credit card and you pay for your coffee. And when you pay for your coffee, you choose the recycle mug, you earn more tokens back, and then you can take, let's say, take a metro line, you can, do anything you want, right? Even go to the convenience store, you buy your groceries with your recycle bag other than the plastic waste, those type of things. So basically, the payment it's acting as a glue to allow the user to connecting one scenario to another. And then makes it like seamlessly, user can basically living here. So you're right. This is one of the top priority for 2025. We actually already arranged a few meetings, sorted out the different candidates, and that's the top priority for Q1 2025.
I love it. It's really great. And I know it's an ecosystem that you have to build and keep growing over time. So as you guys get the partnerships and so forth, it's going to grow. So that's really great. And then the wallet that supports it, is it the VeWorld Wallet?
Yes, that's a VeWorld Wallet. Well, honestly, I believe VeWorld Wallet is one of the best wallets in the crypto world. Very friendly, very smooth. However, I still see some of the big improvements we have to make because other than, comparing, it's just like a normal crypto wallet. Even it's like best my favorite one for sure. But still, how do we make it more accessible to non-crypto user,
Right.
right? And on top of that, how do we make more meaning or value proposition? Like, why are you using this crypto wallet? Or what you use the crypto wallet for? Is just for a speculative trading or for investments, supporting, be the community member, or you can do something else. So considering the VeWorld is not only the crypto wallet, but also it could be acting as a super hub or super portal connecting to different type of the scenarios. Honestly, I believe the 2025 is going to be the mass adoption year for crypto, for VeChain specifically for sure. And the VeWorld, we kind of position VeWorld as a super hub. It's kind of like a Apple Store, but more than Apple Store. Because when you go into Apple Store, you're going to search and find your application, you download it, you switch to another application, play inside of the application, right? But the VeWorld could acting as you can go to the VeWorld to check your assets as a normal crypto user, sure. But also you can go to the super portal like VeBetterDAO, connecting to different type of the Web3 applications. And then you contribute to make the world a better place. You do the positive behavior, and as a result, you can see the collective results from your daily actions in the last 30 days, in the last 2 months, or in the last 2 years, and then you can see how much you have been contribute to make the world a better place, something like that. So, and for sure, with different type of the partnership with the different enterprises, they could be. I'm just getting so exciting, like with so many different opportunities could be, but the VeBetterDAO, VeWorld as a wallet will be acting as a super app for whatever crypto user or non-crypto user. So it's still, that's in the plan. Let's put it this way. That's also sitting at one of the priority for 2025 for VeChain. We want to get it done because eventually, the structure, the strategy structure for VeChain's on the top line is VeBetterDAO, is all of the external applications facing the users, whatever crypto, non-crypto users, right? Building up the use case, getting users engagement for mass adoptions. And the bottom line is our VeChain Renaissance. I'm sure you already noticed we launched the VeChain Renaissance big plan. We're gonna, focus on the upgrades of the consensus, upgrades the tokenomics, increase APY, increase the staking percentage, all of that stuff. And plus, improve the EVM compatibility for future adoptions or integrations with different partners. So that's the bottom line as an infrastructure. And top line is application ecosystem. What sits in the middle? That's our super app. That's a VeWorld, right? So that's the VeWorld is sitting in like very important position. That's also going to be the 2025 priority for us.
That's really great. And, as you're saying that, even over the past year, I've thought about, what's going to be the Web3 wallet that helps bring in the average Joe and Jane, right? Who are not immersed in crypto like we are, that that will help them to get accessibility to Web3 and participate in the crypto ecosystem, but also add other benefits where it's very comfortable for them as if they're logging into PayPal or their bank
Yeah.
app or Facebook, right?
Well, I have a better example. Actually, it's like Alipay or WeChat Pay. PayPal is still a little bit like off the hook with user cases or user experiences, right? So basically, you go to the different website like Amazon or Alibaba, you buy stuff, and then you pop up an option like, oh, do you want to pay by your PayPal or pay by your credit card and everything, right? So, but in Alipay or WeChat Pay, especially coming from the last 20 years in China, it's acting a little bit different. I think even Elon Musk say, hey, we should copy from the WeChat
Wow.
because people can basically living in WeChat. You can chat to your friends, you can make a video phone calls, and you can, buy stuff. You can pay your utility bills, buy the insurance, take care of your kids, education bills, and everything. So it's more like an application hub,
Mm.
and then you're basically living there.
Right.
Because most important thing for PayFi, I would say number one is use case. Number two, use case. Number three, use case.
Mm.
As long as you have many use case, people will have the loyalty with your solution. Otherwise, I can switch to any other payment solution right away,
Mm.
right? So whatever WeChat and Alibaba in the last few, even maybe 2 decades now, they spend so much effort to building different type of the use case, even including some merger and acquisition to
Mm.
buy the Chinese Uber, buy the delivery service, basically to build the use case to allow the user to have seamless experiences in this application. And payment is just sitting at the core of the infrastructure service or tools. So I think there is no difference for the Web3 as well. And that's what we try to build as well.
Yeah, I love that idea, and I absolutely that's the way to bring in billions of users. You like you said, use cases. You make it solve a lot of the problems that they're encountering and get them to on board. Now you mentioned the VeChain Renaissance. That is scheduled for this year, right? 2025.
Right. Yeah. So VeChain Renaissance, well, honestly, I feel like I might need to apologize a bit to my community. It's it I wanted to get it done sooner than we're doing today.
Mm.
But it just there are so many different other things. And like I mentioned, use case is number one. So we kind of focus on the VeBetterDAO in 2024. But after the VeBetterDAO get launched, basically we finished the 0 to 1, that kind of phase for VeBetterDAO. And we already have like 100,000 users, daily transaction is zero already. There was one day community even mentioned about, oh, VeBetterDAO transaction is bypass Walmart. Walmart is always being our number one visual consumption as a smart contract, right? But VeBetterDAO is actually overpassed in few days for the other than Walmart visual consumption or transaction volumes. Um, so let's say this year we feel like that's the right timing now. We should do the significant upgrades for the whatever for consensus and for EVM upgrades and also especially for tokenomics.
Mm.
And also there was another consideration is actually following up the regulation changes. Well, again, 2025 going to be critical for the entire crypto world. And one of the major bullish sign is everywhere, almost everywhere in the world is going to launch the different type of the regulations to
Yes.
make it more regulated in the right direction, right? So we talk about Europe has a MiCA. We're in the progress actually to getting our MiCA compliance. It should be very soon. Well, the other side is we might need to having a little bit patience about the European speed.
Yeah.
But let's put this way, our job in terms of MiCA compliance is done, and now we're just waiting for the final results. It should be in just a few months, I would say a couple months maybe. And also US, you guys having the best president ever. Everybody is super exciting, and not only about himself, but also all of the nominates by him, for the key positions are very crypto friendly. So next thing we know, it should be getting more and more well designed and regulated. By the way, the I don't want to use the F word, but Gary Gensler just get fired. So he kind of sweep the barrier, the last barrier of this word. So I would say the regulation side, is also part of the consideration. And we took some of the learnings from the MiCA, plus some of the learnings during the process, even in last year, like when we get listed in Coinbase, we deal with lots of the regulation challenges, or lots of the regulation compliances. And so based on what we learned from both, and plus Singapore, Hong Kong, Asia as well, and we put together and put some of the new updates in terms of the changes, whatever from the technical configurations, the node configurations, and also the tokenomics updates as well. So basically, three requirements to let's say lead to the VeChain Renaissance. Number one, business requirements for sure. Support the scalability, supporting the mass adoptions. Our target is to eventually reach to everyone, at least 1 billion user for the platform. So how many transactions we're talking about, right? So number one. Number two is about regulation challenge, regulation requirement. We just need to comply with, and also when we're going to the mainstream, going to the market adoptions, you got to take care about the regulation side as well, for sure. Otherwise, there will be no, let's say, big enterprise willing to work with you guys, right? And last but not least is catching up with some technical upgrades, technical innovations. Some of them is coming from the open source world in the blockchain. Some of actually coming from our own research team. Actually, I've been very excited about some of the research work done by the Dublin team of the VeChain technical team. And so we're combining that into, let's say, the VeChain Renaissance. So we define three phases as well. Number one phase is Galactica. We call it Galactica. So basically, focus on the EVM upgrades, finish the EVM compatibility, achievements. And number two, we call Hayabusa. It's actually another name of it's also the name of another battleship from a Japanese cartoon. Okay, I like that. So Hayabusa is introducing new economic nodes, and also converting the nodes into, let's say, part of the validator networks. So basically, we're onboarding everybody to be part of the validator and getting the rewards, from the VSOR generations. And last phase, we call Interstellar. So basically finishing the entire integrations, and we will be able to really go to the Interstellar. So roughly high level, that's about VeChain Renaissance.
That's amazing. Really great updates for this year, and I'm excited to see those roll out. And I wanted to circle back and touch on one of the regulations that you mentioned. You mentioned you guys are in the process of becoming EU MiCA compliant. And here in the United States, as you mentioned, we should be getting legislation this year with pro crypto Congress, pro crypto president, all these folks coming in. Um, do you see China, let's talk about game theory here, right? One player moves and the other moves.
Yeah.
Could we see China open up? Hong Kong has been embracing crypto with ETFs and much more. Could mainland China be opened up?
It could be very hard, to be honest.
Mm,
But I would not be surprised to see the move from China. Well, I get out, I let's say move out of China to Europe for like 3, 4 years now.
mm,
But I still keep a very close follow up what's going on, whatever in Hong Kong and also in China mainland as well. But I would say the biggest challenge for China mainland is actually about the foreign currency control policy.
mm,
And if you really opened up the crypto, there will be lots of the challenges in terms of how to regulate or how to apply this type of policy with the crypto users.
mm,
So let's say if you are able to buy Bitcoin in China mainland, and basically you can move Bitcoin anywhere else, right? So that's honestly, I think, the most difficult part.
mm,
Even Hong Kong, when we talk about Hong Kong, but Hong Kong is a little bit different or independent. It's a free harbor, right? No taxation or very low taxation, and also free trade with anybody in the world. So in Hong Kong, by the way, Hong Kong dollars is actually not backed by RMB, but backed by US dollars. You
mm.
know that, right?
Yeah.
So basically, it's kind of part of the global trading system or global
Mm,
financial system. So Hong Kong acting as the first, whatever called a pilot or trial, I'm not surprised. But for China mainland, I would say they have to address this type of the conflicts with the existing policy somehow. If they're not able to find out the better or proper solution, address that, I feel like it might, or maybe they could go with a different formats, kind of like an agent format, right? You go through
wow.
some agent to manage your investment, manage your assets. That might be feasible.
I have a thesis. I think the best route for them to, mitigate those concerns they have, if they do the ETFs, they open up Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum, eventually other altcoin ETFs, maybe a VeChain ETF eventually, right? They don't have to worry about it leaving because it'll be in the wrapper. They can view everything. It's controlled, right? That could
You're
be
right. Like I said, the aging format, right? At least that they are able to control the size.
right.
Like, okay, I only opened up for like $100 million or $200 million, then it's manageable.
Yeah.
Not just like a going freestyle and then kind of conflict with the existing policy. So you're right. That might be you know what? Maybe next time if I have some meeting with those guys, I could give some suggestions.
Yeah, this way they don't have to worry about the currency leaving because it's in the ETF wrapper. You can't move it to another country. So,
Yeah, at least, let's say, but still, China market is one of the biggest market in the world.
yeah.
Other than investment or financial part, it's a little bit different system than the Western world, right?
Mm,
But at least for the use case, for the user adoptions, even for, let's say, our direction, our track, like sustainability, positive behaviors for everyone, I think it's the market you cannot overlook. It's just a matter of the time when they can really adopt, when they can, even have their own application start with that.
mm. Boy, I can't wait to see that because China's a huge market, like you said, and the population's huge. There's so many users there, and many who are already, how should you put it, more digitally savvy. They rely on digital with smartphones and so forth. So it'd be
Well,
really,
but the competition is also very intensive. I think,
yeah,
you know, think about all of the internet giants. Basically, they are kind of dominate the marketplace, like Alibaba, like WeChat, right? So yeah, that I would say it's a big piece of cake, but
Mhm.
also there are lots of the competitors as well. So good and bad.
For sure. So I wanted to ask you about the Boston Consulting Group BCG partnership. Obviously, VeChain's partnered with Boston Consulting Group, working on some great initiatives, and also the DeBan. Tell us a bit about how the partnership is going and the DeBan launch.
Yeah, well, that's actually this year going to be the fourth year we're working with BCG together, starting from the latest white paper. Oh, sorry, third year.
Mm,
Starting from 2022, we start to work with the latest white paper, Web3 for Better. So we're getting more and more engaged, building up the go-to-market strategy and eventually leading to the new type of the business model. That's basically what we have been working on. So the recent article about the DeBan, Decentralized Better Action Networks, is actually one of the results, one of the progress. Um, as BCG kind of summarize or learning, kind of acting as like observer to learn what we're doing with VeBetterDAO, and they are kind of summarize that, and they actually really looking at consider this as the most promising mass adoption scenario for the whole world.
mm,
So yeah, generally speaking, it's running in a very well progress with BCG, and we have loads of things planned ahead for 2025 as well. But majorly, we're pivoting from getting started for VeBetterDAO and moving up to onboard the different type of enterprise adoptions. Either you can, for enterprises, you can have a use case as an extra earn in VeBetterDAO, or you can create the utility of the VeBetterDAO, or basically your demands of the a better token for some marketing campaigns, leveraging with Web3 technology, AI, IoT together to go to the new world. So yeah, let's say I'm pretty confident, like along with BCG, we will be able to really rolling out, let's say, mass adoptions for Web3 technology. So that's the first. Secondly, what I really like BCG is they're not just like, oh, what's your product?
mm,
Maybe I can sell to my customers. So let's go to sell my customers. So from the day one, I told them like, look, this kind of traditional consultant service is not gonna work in here
mm,
because we don't know what is the best practice in the Web3. We're exploring, we're creating, we're innovating, right? So I really need you guys to jump here based on what you're good at, like industry know-how, the traditional business, traditional enterprise, and they have loads of the connections, whatever financially, business-wise, they have loads of connections. And put your resource together, and we know the Web3. We understand the technology, we understand the Web3 spirit or mentality. Let's put them together. We need to create something together. So BCG basically, you know, kind of involving even the design, including the VeBetterDAO, including some of the applications. Even when we go to the enterprise, go to the whatever big corporation or small startup, BCG offering that kind of support to the teams are building use case together. Because the future Web3 use case will involve the token,
mm, yeah.
not like track and trace or the first level of the blockchain application, right? So and also in the journey, BCG is really good at about summarizing and and then also leveraging with different type of resources. That's actually is how they worked out the DBAN as a narrative, as a new track. They believe, well, we believe actually at the same time, we all believe, both VeChain and BCG, we believe the next bull run signal or next bull run flag will be raised by the mass adoptions. I spent so many meetings in the last few months before the end of last year with all of the big institutional players in the Wall Street.
Mm,
And every time I ask them the simple question, what kind of the portfolio are you looking at, right? Other than Bitcoin. We all know Bitcoin, yes. Other than Bitcoin, what kind of the portfolio you're looking at? And everybody tell me the same thing. We're looking at the portfolio with the real fundamentals.
mm,
When they mention about the fundamentals, it's not only about a crypto fundamental, also about what kind of a problem your solution going to solve, what kind of the target user, what kind of the, let's say, value proposition, problem opportunity, market opportunity, and everything. It's
mm.
it's I feel like, looking for like compare with like IPO company,
Uh,
right? How you get listed in the Nasdaq, or how you getting more investors coming from the Wall Street. So basically they're going to look at the same thing. So the best narrative plus the user adoption is going to be the major flag into that. And based on this thinking, BCG and us, we work together to find out, you know, behavioral economics is going to be the the most easy one, low-hanging fruits for Web3 technology adoption or even the token adoption. Actually, there is an example already. Think about the attention economy.
mm,
The TikTok, Instagram,
yeah.
we call it the attention economy. And basically, what they need is attention from the users. And attention is one of the actions. But the actions could be so much more, so
Mm,
much,
wow.
so much in so many different aspects of your life. Like I mentioned, your commute way,
Mm,
your drink, the way you drink, how do you use materials, cut the plastics, all of the different things we call it positive behavior to make the world a better place can be converged. We can build that kind of a um, behavioral economics
yeah,
along with Web3 technologies. Yeah. So
I
that's
love that.
really.
Yeah, no, that is great. As you're saying that, I'm just thinking about, the future and what it looks like. And to your point, I often talk about you have social networks like TikTok, Facebook, but now you have these financial networks with the token involved, and then you can have incentives and you can make it to where people do great things like what VeBetterDAO is looking to do. And I was reading through the article here by Boston Consulting Group, and they summarize VeBetterDAO and how this is the future and how people will interact with these models and so forth. And they mentioned like step in and sweat and so forth. And it's going to be the actions of the
Yeah,
people
it's
in the
not only
network.
about us. It's
Yes.
actually, it could be everyone could build something
Yeah.
following this track. Actually, I'm calling for like anyone. It doesn't matter you build on VeChain or any other layer ones. As long as you're believing that and you try to make your application build on, let's say, the different type of the blockchains and incentivize people, motivate people to do the better behaviors, and then welcome. I'm willing to share everything we know, and to help you guys out. So, and blockchain is inclusive word, right? We're really let's say striving for inclusive adoptions. So yeah.
I love it. And it sounds like Boston's consulting group is a great partner. They recognize these things. They're helping you both to build these ecosystems, but also on the enterprise level, right?
Yes, of course, 100%. That's actually the selling point to
Mm,
me. Like, oh, we have 100,000 different customers, and let's try to that's actually the first meeting I had with BCG like 3 years ago. They say, okay, let's work on some consultant service, help you to sell your products. I say no. We need to build something together, not sell something. But right now, VeBetterDAO is getting ready. And for sure, there's still some of the improvements. Like I mentioned, the VeWorld, we still need to make the next version. VeChain Renaissance, it's going to take a few months to launch it. And also, we need more and more X2 applications. By the way, our target still remain the same. We wanted to achieve 100 applications and 20 million users before the end of the 2025. And in the next phase, actually in current phase, because we're already in the January of 2025, the BCG's mission will start to sell. We'll start to sell this model, start to sell this type of the, let's say, solution to onboard more and more enterprise onto that. So yeah, that's finally they are going to something they are really good at.
Yeah, for sure. Now, speaking of enterprises, I know VeChain has been partnered with BMW, Walmart, China, PwC. Folks wanted me to ask you any updates on those major partnerships, and can we expect more in 2025 as well?
I would say, let's say the enterprise application we have done in the past. Well, they're still running.
Mhm.
Like a Walmart, they're still number one transaction contributor. Actually, some of the days like in the last few months, they actually bypass more than 1 million transactions per day. I
Mm,
think
wow.
even 2 or 3. I think the peak time was like 3 million transactions. So basically, they're scaling up. They're progressively, scaling up the scope to cover more products.
Mm,
But I have to mention, two aspects, my personal opinion. Number one, enterprise, you look at the enterprise, for example, like a Walmart or anybody else, to them, it's just normal system.
yeah.
It's a normal supply chain management system, a normal food safety system. They're not going to tell you like, oh, we kind of cover 100 SKUs, or next month, oh, we cover 500 SKUs. They will not make that kind of announcement, right?
Right.
To them, it's a normal system.
Yeah. Business
But
as
you
usual.
can, yeah, but you can see the volume of the transaction is increasing. That's the first.
Mm,
Second, I would say our mission for the next mission is try to convert them to VeBetterDAO, that type of applications.
mm,
The major difference is you gotta get the token in play, directly designing your future business models. Oh, by the way, that's also sits at the number one or ultimate task for BCG as well. You need to do I told the BCG, you guys need to work with us together to create the new business model, like internet business model,
mm,
right? So internet business model coming from nowhere or coming from a bunch of the different type of the innovations, Google model, Apple model,
right.
Facebook model, even TikTok model. So I believe Web3 will also have the new model and are able to connect with the users and enterprise together.
Mm,
So our next mission will, leveraging with existing partners of VeChain and also the existing partners of the BCG, and you try to convert them into the future Web3 business applications.
mm,
The Again, the major difference, you gotta have the token designed in your application or designed into your ecosystem. And the VeBetterDAO just acting as a better token, just acting the perfect example as a showcase to them and onboard them more and more to that, right?
yeah.
The similar idea, everything is coming from let's say, one of the learning from the internet. You
Mm.
know the marginal effect, right? Marginal network, marginal effect coming from the internet. Simply to say, if you run a system, you running the system at the cost of, let's say, $1 million a year. And if you just serve one client, you are kind of expecting, oh, that client needs to bring me 1.5 or even $2 million revenue. So I'm able to, cover my costs or cover my running, everything, make the normal business, right?
Mhm.
But the internet is able to make the system able to outreach, let's say, more than 1 million clients. And then what you expect is everybody give me $2 business or $5 business. And then I'm able to make, so much more comparing the traditional business model. That's what we call the marginal effect. So
Mm.
for the Web3, it will be the same. It will be the same. Just think about what kind of the asset or what kind of the value can be tokenized. It should be small fractional value, like you will not be able to discover or you'll not be able to reveal or monetize before. But with Web3, you're able to get everyone's connection, everyone's effort, everyone's actions, and put in a collective way. It's just a huge. And then you monetize that, right? I like to use a very easy example is, for example, we did the BYD case back to 2019, I think, to calculate how much carbon credits by driving a one EV by year for a year, right?
Mm.
And averagely, if you drive 10,000 miles, 15,000 miles a year, you resulting like 2 tons CO2, 1.5 tons CO2, something like that. And 2 tons CO2 equals to $100.
Mm.
But how you verify the $100 value you created by driving 1 year's EV, you got to pay $50,000 or maybe $100,000 to people like DMV or SGS, that kind of certification body.
Right.
And nobody wants to do that, right? But if you still get certification body to certify your smart contract, your system, your process, and you make the system still at the cost, let's say 100,000. Even let's say we're willing to pay $1 million for that,
Mm.
right? And if you are outreach a 1 million car, we're talking about $100 million value created every year just at the cost of $1 million,
Mm.
or maybe a little bit more than 1 million.
Right.
But that's a good deal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of revolutionary change by applying the same marginal effect or marginal network concept, right? So that's the future business model.
Mm.
We wanted to get those enterprise understand and discover what you can build, what you can have, the new marginal effect in your business.
Mm.
And that will give the leading position or new leading position. Maybe we will change a few different industries by
Yeah.
doing that. But that's a really exciting part.
Sunny, that's so insightful. You explaining the new business models that can be created and how these traditional companies, maybe Web2 companies, can transition to Web3 and have a bit of a different model. And I'm sure many of them are trying to make that transition. It doesn't happen overnight, but they're going to have to move a bit fast, right? Because disruption is
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also, think about that. Like I said, 2025 going to be critical for the entire crypto world because US is welcoming the most of crypto friendly president.
Yeah.
And also his team, his crew is very into the crypto.
Yeah.
And I would say if I were them, number one, I'm looking for regulation, looking for good projects, good portfolios, good use cases, good models. And then next thing you know, everybody wants to do something or embrace with crypto, right?
Mm.
And then that will be our like a whole open world to like a sweeping the solutions, sweeping the our offerings, and let's work something together. So um, yeah, that's what I'm really exciting about.
Final question here before I let you go. The UFC partnership, folks wanted me to ask you about that. You mentioned before the recording you're going to go meet Dana White. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going to meet with. Well, actually, it's not. Let's say I met Dana for a few times already. I really like the UFC for several different reasons. Firstly, UFC is a like farthest growing sports entertainment, whatever you call it, right? It's a fast growing program in the world. And we're talking about 200 million, 300 million followers according to the social media, different type of the social media channels
Mm,
around the whole world. So how to, let's say, well, the meeting with Dana is one of the routine updates or routine exchange is to look for the new collaborations, look for the new leveraging the user base, put them into, let's say, the mission of to make the world a better place. And actually, Dana is a super fan of this type of the sustainability actions as well.
mm,
A given example, he personally shout out for Four Ocean Project. Four Ocean is a project in Florida, with dedicated mission to clean up the water, clean up the ocean. So
right.
Dana really liked the team, really liked what they're doing, give a shout out. So we are looking for three parties partnership and I try to bring, let's say, Four Oceans mission into the next level.
Mm,
So that's one of the discussion. But more important, I would say, you know, it's like how we can make the UFC and the VeChain's partnership to outreach more and more people and getting more people engaged. Actually, we are launching a new campaign. Like if you participate in the EVR, charge your Tesla, and you will be able to win the tickets. Go to the UFC Los Angeles on the January 18th. So we already received like thousands or tens of thousands of applicants already. Just imagine everybody is a Tesla driver. You could be our potential user. That's just a very small example, right?
mm,
So let's say I really wanted to engage with more with people like Dana White.
mm.
Um, I really respect the guy. He basically pulled the UFC out of the mud from nothing, right? And basically, he told me like he paid a $2 million. Well, not he himself, but also with his investors, just get a $2 million to get a UFC. I was saying like, Dana, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Right, $2 million. Look at that. You are now like billions of the valuation. He
Right.
said, he said, well, that 2 million basically just buy the name. Nothing else was concrete by there. We have to build everything from scratch. So I really, really respect that guy. And he's not really working for money. He just, really love the sports, love the fighting. By the way, I believe the martial arts, I'm kind of getting into the martial arts as well, getting getting there. I think martial arts is part of a bigger scope or high level scope of sustainability. It's
Mm,
mainly in the people's DNA, in the human's DNA. Second, it's not only good to your physical health, like you're exercising, you're mastering the different techniques, you're able to deal with different type of emergency situations, right? Whatever heavy lifting or dodging from some
yeah.
dangerous situations, that's good for your physical health. But
Right.
also, it's a great challenge to your mental health.
Yeah.
You're not gonna afraid of any challenges or any difficulties. Just, F out and, get down, something like that. So I really wants to make the UFC somehow part of VeBetterDAO even. They could be one of the applications specifically for UFC. Actually, one of let's say application is working on that using the camera to capture the motion of the human body. Then think about that. You do a squat, you do a push-ups, and the camera could capture you and converting your exercise actions into that could earn the rewards as well. Right? Simple. I mean, I'm just getting through some crazy ideas here, but those are discussing points I wanted to discuss with Dana, and for sure, try to connect with his friends as well. Anything help VeChain, anything help VeBetterDAO. I believe he's going to love what we're doing today. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Sonny, as always, very insightful information. I appreciate your knowledge and your vision for Web3 and blockchains. And I'm excited for the updates coming this year as a VET token holder. So, I'm really looking, we'll have to have you back on throughout the year to talk about these updates. But
Sure.
thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah. Thank you, Downey. See you.